functional trainer. You could do chest flies, tricep push down, along with a beautiful squat rack. Now, if you're telling me that...
Now, if Jessie Jane West can build a sick home gym, then so can I. Let's have a little look and put one together. What is happening, everybody, and welcome to today's video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to build a home gym on a budget. Now, I'm very fortunate that the gym is actually my job, so I have a pretty decent home gym setup because I'm a personal trainer, so I use it for work purposes. So the investment was not only personal, but was also work-based. Now, for someone that lives in the UK, and typically we don't have huge garages to put a gym in, building something down the end of your garden is what most people tend to typically do unless they have a small garage space. But what we're going to do in this video is we're going to run you through how you can have a decent home gym setup if you don't have the budget and you don't have the room down the end of the garden and maybe you don't even have a small garage space. So this is for people who are on a very limited budget but want to have their own little setup at home because maybe it works well around family life, work life. Maybe you don't really like going to the gym, maybe you don't really have time to get to the gym. So stick around and I'm going to show you how you can build the perfect home gym setup on a budget. So let's bring it back to the living room, because if you're on a budget, this is possibly the only space that you really have to be able to work out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through some pieces of equipment which you can have at home, which don't cost a hell of a lot of money, but you can do a lot of different things with them. Now, first on the list, we're going to go with resistance bands. Now, these are pretty cheap, versatile, and if you're really limited on room, they're easy to put away. You can stick them in a cupboard somewhere, or just stick them under the sofa, and they're kind of easy to be out of sight, out of mind. But in terms of exercise variety, they are brilliant. You can replicate all of the moves that you need to in order to get stronger at home and build some muscle. You can do a really good leg workout, things like these split squats. You can do variations of a squat with it. And the great thing about resistance bands is you can buy, different strengths. So for pushing, pressing movements like this one, you might want to use a slightly lighter band. And if your legs are really strong, stronger band. You can make simple bodyweight exercises like a push-up more difficult. Next up, we're going to go with some dumbbells. Relatively cheap, not the cheapest thing if you want to buy a whole set, but you can also get adjustable dumbbells. The only issue with adjustable dumbbells is that for some exercises they're a bit too big, a bit too bulky, so they can make them not quite as ideal to do particular exercises with. I'd probably recommend when it comes to dumbbells is getting a variety of weights to start off with. In an ideal world, I quite like having a pair of the same weight, but obviously that means double the budget. So you could even just start off with one of each dumbbell at a variety of different weights. What you're going to want is a relatively heavy dumbbell for your leg exercises. Then you're kind of going to want maybe a medium-sized dumbbell for maybe you're not quite as strong at pressing overhead, or maybe even for things like bicep curls and arm exercises. Then you might want an even lighter dumbbell for some things like side raises and maybe even some more kind of rehab style stuff, working on those rotator cuffs. Next up, we're going to look at kettlebells. So again, these are also a great home workout alternative. Now, if you're really on a budget, I would probably go for dumbbells or kettlebells, and for me personally, I would probably opt for dumbbells over kettlebells, just because I feel like, again, there's maybe simpler, more exercise variety that you could do with a dumbbell. You can perform the same exercises with a kettlebell, but sometimes the technique is a little bit more different. But maybe follow the same principle of getting a light, medium, and a heavy kettlebell. The other great thing about them is they can kind of double up as doorstops if you're not using them. The good thing about kettlebells is you can get that same exercise variety, but sometimes the exercises feel slightly different from how you load them. And there's exercises that you can do with kettlebells that you just can't replicate as well with other things, like kettlebell swings. I also prefer doing things like snatches and hang cleans with kettlebells. I just think they feel better than using a dumbbell. And then last on my list would be a weight vest. And this is a great alternative if you can't maybe afford the dumbbells, or you're really limited on space if you're in a small flat or apartment and you just don't want the dumbbells out on show. Then something like a weight vest can be really good because you can replicate most movements and just make it a bit harder with your body weight. This vest here I believe weighs about 14 pounds, so it's adding about a stone onto my body weight when I'm doing exercises. Not essential, wouldn't be my first pick, but again is a great addition to a cheap home gym setup. And again, you can easily replicate all of those basic exercises like squats, split squat variations, rear foot elevated variations. You can easily add the dumbbells into the exercises as well to create more resistance on the muscle. You can also add the resistance bands into dumbbell exercises. If you haven't necessarily got any heavier weight but want to make the exercise more challenging, this is a great way to do that. So now let's sit down and have a look at where you can purchase this stuff from. Myself, my gym is full of stuff from Bulldog Gear, Black Box and Mirror Fit. Bulldog and Black Box are maybe kind of home gym / commercial grade level. Mirror Fit is a great alternative if your home gym equipment is only really going to be used by you, and I'm going to use that as an example to buy this gym equipment from. I opted for a 5, 15 and a 25 kilo dumbbell and also got them in pairs. I then went for an 8 kg weight vest and 3 different levels of resistance bands. There you have it. I just built a home gym for £391. Now you probably could get it a bit cheaper if you was to shop around on eBay and you was to shop around for second-hand equipment, and that price there is based on a 5, 15 and 25 kilo dumbbell in pairs. So you could even, if you were only buying one, slash those prices in half. But a lot of gym retailers sell their dumbbells in pairs. But like I said, if you used to go on somewhere like eBay, you could probably find single dumbbells and make that even cheaper. That would probably knock a good £100 or so easily off of that price, probably like £150. The dumbbells are the most expensive part of that list. Now that might sound cheap, that might not sound cheap, but that is a cheap home gym setup because you can get an awesome workout in with those pieces of equipment. They store away easy, you don't need a lot of room, and you can make some solid results with those pieces of equipment. If you found this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below if you have any home gym saving hacks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.